Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. Thanks for joining me. So in today's video, I'm finally going to release what we're actually going to put in Bert's old enclosure, the 3 foot by 3 foot arboreal terrarium. So if this is something that interests you, then please stay tuned. Without further ado, let's crack on with today's video. Hey YouTube, welcome back. So as I said, today we're going to do the big reveal. I know I've been teasing you for quite a few weeks now. Now I think I've had guesses from day geckos to vine snakes to rat snakes to anything really. So I really appreciate you commenting and trying to guess what it actually is, but I'm pleased to say that none of you have got it right. Now I hope I haven't built this up too much to the point where you're going to be disappointed at what this actually is. But I'm not going to waste any more time, so the animal going into this terrarium is going to be a Cuban night anole. So for those of you who don't know much about Cuban night anoles, they're one of the biggest species of anoles. They actually originate from Cuba, as you can imagine, but when I was away in Florida, I've seen they habit there as well, and they tend to like the tropical environment, hence the terrarium setup we've got. So they're quite big for an anole species, and I'm looking forward to them growing. At this point, it is a juvenile. I'm not quite sure if it's a male or female, but as it grows, I should be able to tell, depending if it has any stripes on the side, or whether, and you can usually tell as well from the size of their head. As you can see, he's still quite small at the moment, but since I've had him, he's done really, really well. He's been running around, I'm referring to him as he, I'm going to call him he, especially as I've called him Castro as well, as he's from Cuba. But he's been doing everything he needs to do. He took a little while settling in and just, generally having a run around, checking out his new environment, but he settled in quite quickly. He seemed to be happy, he was drinking straight away, and I've caught him eating more recently as well. At the moment, I'm feeding him on small crickets and obviously dusting that with calcium as well, because he does have the T5 UVB light as well for D3. But this was one of the animals I was toying with initially. I did get him from a local pet shop, and at the time I wasn't planning on getting him so soon. I was in the process of converting Bert's old tank into this enclosure. I did have to do a little bit more quickly than I anticipated, because I did just go into the shop one day, which is my local reptile shop, which is Reptile Cymru. For those of you in Wales or Cardiff area, I definitely recommend checking them out. It wasn't very often that I would see these around, and especially not captive bred. You see a lot of wild caught because they are quite common in places like Florida. But it was great to see one that was captive bred, less chance of parasites and that sort of thing. So when I seen him, I sort of had to have him. So I did put a deposit on him and was just in the process then of trying to speed up getting this tank ready for him. Now I was going to release a video before this about the running of the tank, the electrics, the lights, the heating and that sort of thing. But I know a lot of you are getting quite impatient as to what the animal was going to be, so I didn't want to drag out any longer. Now I will release a video shortly on the lighting and the heating and everything around this enclosure as well. That's probably in an upcoming video I might release next week. But there are other videos I'm eager to show you as well. I'm down to do an update on the five-bellied toad paludarium, as well as Bert's new setup and upcoming projects, and just generally what's been going on in the room. But I didn't want to make this a really long video. I just wanted to get out there exactly what the animal was going to be, because I know a lot of you are quite excited what it was going to be, and just give you a chance to see what it is. We'll come back and take a more detailed look at him once he's had a chance to settle in, as well as do some maybe care videos and a bit more detail into this species. If you do want to know a little bit more in between, then I did get a little bit of help from one of my YouTube friends, Chuck Horn. He actually deals with a lot of Cuban night anoles, and I've got a lot of advice from him, and he's been really, really helpful in the process of setting up his enclosure and preparing for this animal. So I'll put a link down in the description for his channel. So if you want to go and check that out, I definitely recommend doing that. But so far I'm really, really happy with where he's settled in. I'm really, really happy with the animal itself. Obviously he's got a lot of size to put on, and he will be considerably bigger than this. I'll add some images just so you give you an idea of what they do look like when they're adults. Because for an anole species, they are quite large, like I said, not your typical green or brown anole size. But as always, if you have any questions or anything you'd like to see in the future, then please, as always, comment in the section below. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. But I'm really, really happy with the new arrival, and I really hope that you're happy with what the choice I took was as well. And it'll definitely be nice getting something from such a small size and watching him grow with you as well. So I think that's enough from me and enough from Castro, and we'll see you next time.